Mom, where's my passport?
Hello and welcome to I Am Not Your Tour Guide, but I am your host, Starla Skelton. This is a podcast where travelers become storytellers. And as we listen, maybe we can gain a little perspective that will help us or inspire us on our future adventures. So today on our fabulous podcast, we have a very special guest. Her and I, well, actually, she used to be my boss. If we're going way back, she used to be my boss, and she is an extremely hardworking woman. And now she owns her own business and she travels the world and she is living her best life. So I want to welcome Dariella. Hello, Dariella.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Excited to be here.
Good. You look just as young as you did 10 years ago when we worked together.
Gracias.
You look beautiful.
Gracias.
Yes, claro. So since you and I work together, I feel like you've been all over the world, right? Like, how many countries have you been to now?
47.
47. Okay. So yeah, you've been all over the place. That's amazing. And so I know you started out, you were born and you grew up in Venezuela. What part of Venezuela were you born in?
It's a small town. It's called Mérida. It's really close to Colombia and it's pretty much where the Andes ends. So pretty much the city where I am from is surrounded by mountains. And it's the only city in Venezuela that snow. So it's beautiful. It's like you live in the city and then you look up and you look around and it's just mountains full of snow. So that's where I'm from, Mérida, Venezuela.
That's amazing. That's awesome. What was the weather like usually? Did you have to bundle up or did it get hot?
Well, since Venezuela is like right there, it's tropical, but our city, because it's around the mountains and the snow, it was chilly, but it was a beautiful weather. It's like in the morning, it's kind of like foggy, and then maybe 60s, and then during the day, it gets to 70, maybe 80s, and then at nighttime, it goes down to 60. So it was just, for me, it's the perfect weather all year long.
I was about to say, that sounds perfect. So you lived in the perfect weather condition.
Yes.
So speaking of Venezuela, do you have any good memories of traveling around either Venezuela or South America or Central America whenever you were a child?
Yes. So my mom was a single mom. So for us to travel was really hard. So she would make efforts and take us on vacations, but we would do it like inside Venezuela. We would go to the beach. To Cacas and up north in Venezuela, where the beaches are beautiful over there. It's like one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So going there with my sisters and my mom, that was always a memory I have when I was a little. We would go there probably like once a year and explore in car. So we would have to take like 15 hours to get there. Another memory I have as a child traveling, it would be like going to my dad's farms. He lived in another city the whole time. So we would go visit him and then he would take us to his farm, which was really special to us because it was like, his job and his work. But then at the same time, it was a way of getting out of the routine and just going somewhere else different. And my first international travel was my mom took me. It was my 15 years old birthday gift, like quinceañera. But then, I thought it was going to be my gift, but then she took all my sisters with me. So I'm like, wait. I'm like, this is a gift for all of us, I guess. So I have to take it. It was either that or nothing. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So we went to Puerto Rico and the San Thomas, the Virgin Islands. And that trip right there took a toll on my life because when we went there, it was my first travel outside Venezuela. And I was just like, oh my God, there is another world out there. There's like different cultures and different language. And it was just like opening up my mind. So crazy. And when we took that trip, we met a guy from America. He used to sell his bracelets and his
Yeah,
his jewelry.
just like jewelry?
Yeah, he was like a hippie guy, and he's American, and he would travel all over the world selling his stuff. And then we met him, and then we connected. Well, not me, because I was 15, but my mom and my aunt connected with him. And my mom was like, "You need to come to Venezuela. You need to come to Mérida, because Mérida is a town where all these hippie people come in and they sell their stuff. I mean, there's people from Argentina, Chile, Colombia, like everywhere." So he came. So he came to visit, and I told my mom that was one of my dreams was always to move to United States and to learn English. And so my mom, being the Latin woman that she is, when he came, when he came to visit, she was like, "So my daughter wants to move to United States. Do you have any family or friends that can take her in?" And I'm like, "What? Okay." There goes my mom giving me away. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, "Okay, mom."
Wow.
So it happened that he has a brother, and he was a doctor, and his wife, and they have 3 little kids. And they were actually looking for somebody to move in with them and help them with the kids. And then at the same time, I would, work and learn English. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. So that's how I ended up moving to United States. And I ended up living with them for 1 year. They put me to high school. I learned English. And I end up getting a scholarship to play tennis. And I end up staying here.
That's awesome. Did you play tennis growing up in Venezuela?
Yes. Like we would go to regional, nationals, all of that. So when I moved here, I played tennis for high school for 1 year, and my coach found me like 3 full paid full scholarships. So I ended up taking it, and then I ended up staying here.
That's amazing. Were there ever moments? I mean, because you were younger, you were still somewhat of a child. Did you miss your family a lot after you left?
The first year it was really tough because the culture exchange. Like I remember Christmas coming, and in Venezuela is so loud and fun and like fireworks everywhere. Like I remember on December 24, because we celebrate Christmas on December 24, not on December 25th. So I remember at 24, at 12 o'clock, that's when we all get together, eat, open presents. And I remember when I was living with the American family, I went to my room and I started getting ready and dressed for Christmas. And I come downstairs and everybody's in their PJs watching Christmas movies. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Like,
that had to be a culture shock.
It was, because I was like, I didn't understand, and my English was really little, and I was just like, wait, how can I tell them, like, why are they not dressed up, and where is the music, and where is the food, and where is the fireworks? Because I used to be big in fireworks. In Venezuela, I would be the one that would go and like set them up and all that stuff. So there was nothing of that. So I came in and I was embarrassed because I was all dressed up. So I just went back upstairs. I changed and I put my PJs and I just called my mom, and I was crying. And in the back of my mom, like on the phone call, I can hear all the fireworks and all the music. And I was just like, oh my God. So the first year was really tough, but like I'm very independent. So after being there for 1 year, I just kind of just put my pants up and tie them up and was like, okay, this is what I have now. And like, either you take the best out of it or just, be sad about it. So I went to high school and I enjoy it. I really enjoy going to high school here in the United States after that. But yeah, I miss my family deeply that first year. After that, I was used to it and I was just like, nah, not really.
You are incredibly tough. I love that. I've never heard that story, and that makes me love you even more, because that has to be hard. Yeah. That has to be hard to be away from your family, especially during those times of year where you're so used to that routine. And I have to ask, now that you have been living in the States for quite a while, have you changed that routine? Like, do you party now, or do you put on your PJs when it's Christmas Eve?
A little bit of everything. Back in the day, yes, I was like, oh no, Christmas and New Year's, I'm partying. And now it's like, Christmas I can spend with my family. And like now I have a nephew and a niece. So it's more like family oriented. And then I actually don't mind putting PJs. So I have become a little gringa. Well, after 25 years here, I'm like, okay, I can get used to this. So I mix it up.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Man. Okay. So you've been living in the States for 25 years, and I was stalking your social media the other day because I was like, I wonder where Dariella's been lately. So I was looking at your Instagram and I saw that pretty recently you were in Kenya. So was that an experience that was so different from your normal trips, or how did that compare to how you normally travel?
Yes, like my first big solo trip was going to Europe. And you know, Europe is safe, is good to go on your own. There's like the transportation system is amazing and there's people everywhere. So I felt comfortable going there. Then South America, you know, like I feel more comfortable because it's like my culture, like I know the language. I know how hectic it can be, like taking the bus and the chicken bus and all of that. So that to me is kind of like, this is how I grew up. But going to Africa, like that was my first Africa trip ever. Like, so going to Kenya was totally different because we don't speak the language. They do speak English, but mostly Swahili. And just like the transportation system, the food, it's not as comfortable as to go to other countries. So when we went, it was one of my friend and me. It was just two girls. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't get stuck in the middle of nowhere, like by ourselves. So we end up looking up in YouTube for a travel guide assistant. And we found this amazing woman and pretty much we paid her to put the trip together. So she pretty much asked us, what do you want from this trip? What you want to take? And we told her what we wanted it. So she put it all together and it was perfect because, you know, we got there, we got picked up, we got all the hotels planned, the safari planned. I really wanted it to go to an orphanage and I brought like a big suitcase full of clothes and food and diapers to bring to them. So I wanted it to make sure I did that. And we wanted it something special, unique and different. So she found us a only woman village where it was really cool because it's like one of the only ones in Kenya where the woman got tired of being around men that would rape them anytime they wanted it to. So they put this village together where it's only woman included, and they built it up from the ground. So we went there, and that was like one of my most amazing experience there because it was totally different. I never seen this anywhere else. So we got there, and pretty much they're all doing their own landscaping, agriculture. They build their own houses. They do sell all their jewelry to people that come see them to make money. They have their own school. They become their own teachers to their kids. So it was really mind blowing to see how powerful these women were and building something so important for them. And one of the things that got me, like it blew my mind was like, they were giving us the tour of the village. It's small, but like some of the houses that they build it from dirt, and the ceiling, the roof of the houses were made with like cow poop. So pretty much when the cow poops, they let it dry. And once it's dry, they put it on top and they build their houses. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, this has to smell when you go inside. But it didn't. Like they let us in. So they don't have anything. They sleep on the ground and they have a little fire where they keep themselves warm. So we go in and there is no door. And I'm like, wow, so you don't have any door? I'm like, well, actually next week we are getting some people putting doors in our houses. because right now we don't have any. And there are guys still coming into their houses and rape them. So at nighttime, right? They say at nighttime after 8 o'clock, everybody goes in their homes, lock themselves up, and they don't come out until next morning. And I was like, what about you have to, go to the bathroom? I'm like, nobody can come out, because you come out, you will get raped. So I'm like, whew. So that to me was, man, that was very painful to see, to hear, but at the same time, so amazing to see that they want change and they're going to do anything possible to make that change for them.
Oh, that hits pretty deeply. Yesterday was National Women's Day. And of course, you and I both are very empowered by women and being supportive for each other. But yeah, to go through that experience, how did you deal with the feelings that you experienced whenever you were witnessing that? Like, did you spend the night in this village? Were you able to provide any sort of help, or that's where you brought your bags to?
Yeah, no, I didn't bring the bag there because I wanted the bag to go to an orphanage where there's like 20 of kids without mom, without parents. At least these kids have their parents there, so they have some kind of comfort. But when I was there, like, oh my God, there were so many kids. So I did bring like a backpack full of clothes, but I didn't have enough to give to all of them. I have pictures and everything. It was beautiful because they will all come around you and they're like, I want this, I want that. And they will like pull it. I'm like, oh, okay, take it. But I feel bad because I didn't give all of them something. So the next day, it does go really deep in my heart, especially when there is like kids involved. But at the same time, just seeing how happy they were and how smiley, and like they don't know any better. They don't know that there is a more comfortable world. That's the only thing they know. So for them, that's happiness. For them, that's enough. But to see that, so I wanted to make a little change. So my friend and me went to the store and we bought like a lot of paper and colors and paints and candy. And I remember I was trying, there was this little girl, her name was Abigail. I don't know what happened to her and me, but we connected so much. Like every time I talk about her, like I just want to cry because she was just following me and like grabbing me. And I don't know what she was telling me or what she was trying to communicate with me, but it was just her language, her personality, and her gestures that spoke to me. I didn't need to understand what she was trying to say. So I remember I went to the store and I was trying to find her a doll. I wanted to give her a doll so she can, like something that looks like me, so she will remember me, and then she would just like carry around. And I could not find a doll in the whole city. And I'm like, man. And then I was like, okay, I guess candy will do. So I brought them candy. And then I brought them like a soccer ball so they can all play around. So we bring all of this stuff. We go to the little school that they have, and then we put all the paper on the ground, the paints, the pencils. They didn't know what to do with it. Like, it's their first time they see this. So I'm like, it was shocking because I'm like, we put it all there and I'm like, oh, they're going to go to town. And they were just looking at us like, what do we do now? And I'm like, oh crap, they don't know. Okay, cool. So I got on the floor with them. I sat down and I start grabbing the paint and painting. And then they see me doing it and then they start painting. And then to make it more fun, I just grab the paint and start painting their faces. And and then at the end of the day, we were all paint from head to toe, like the clothes that I just gave them. It was all damaged. But we had such an amazing time together. And to me, I know I can't change the world, but when I do little things like that, at least for a little bit of people, that to me is enough. And I need to understand that I can't do everything for everybody. So as long as I'm making a little bit of difference here and then I'm happy with myself and I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Wow, what an experience. I love that story. And I love that when you do travel, you are able and you find ways to incorporate philanthropy and ways to give back. But also knowing you as a person, I do know that you love to have fun with a little fiesta and have a good time and enjoy life. So how do you find that balance when you travel? And honestly, it could even be, how do you find that balance in life between giving back to the communities that you travel in and live in, but then also with enjoying yourself? How do you find that balance?
I guess since I was little, to me, like, I always have a good knowledge of like life being a balance. And if you don't have balance in your life, you can suffer a lot. So for me, it's like, if I'm going to be working so hard, I want to make sure I am enjoying myself and life as hard. So same balance I implement in my daily life, I implement it when I travel. So when I travel, I just want to make sure that I'm exploring everything I need to explore. I see everything I need to see. I bring joy and love to as much people as I can. And at the same time, exploring the night scene, the day scene, whatever. So when I make the plan for my travels, I just make sure I implement a little bit of everything. So it just comes easy for me because that's how I live my life every day anyways. So when I travel, it's just like a hand reach into that. Like I just do the same as what I do with my life in every day.
All right. So on the subject of balance, I do know that you do travel sometimes with just one friend or a solo trip. And then sometimes I'll see pictures of you and you've got like 10 friends or family members around you. So is there a time, like, do you prefer traveling with your friends and family, or do you prefer traveling alone, or is there a time for both?
I'm a woman, so when I have something, I'm going to want the other one. And when I have that, I'm going to want the other one. So it's normal.
That's so true.
It's normal, right? So when I'm solo, I'm like, oh, I miss my friends. I wish they were here. and when I'm with friends, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just want to do this on my own. I just want to be on my own right now. Like I need space, I need peace. Like, whew. So I enjoy all of it. I enjoy traveling with my friends because, especially with friends that share the same mentality as me, as to travel, as to explore, because I have traveled with friends that don't have the same mentality as me. And when I get there, I'm like, oh crap, I feel like I'm not enjoying my vacation as I should because I need to make sure that they're having fun too, but I do not want to be in a 5-hotel star. I don't want to be in a cruise. I don't want to be in an all-inclusive thing. I want to be out there. I want to get dirty. I want to explore. I want to see. So I have learned that knowing my friends and what they like, then I can say yes to them or no, I don't want to travel. I'm sorry. And then, I make my decisions. I love traveling by myself. I feel like it is the best time to have solitude and going within and learn more about yourself, your strengths, your weakness, everything, because you put yourself in situations that you can't look around and be like, oh, help me. Like, no, you need to get out of this on your own. And then just being present with yourself, that's just, to me, is amazing and very powerful. And lately I have included having travels with my mom. Yeah.
Ooh, how's that going?
At the beginning, I was nervous because my mom and me, we think differently. She is like oil and water. But at the same time, she's my mom and she has done everything to raise us and she sacrificed so much for us. And every time I used to travel, she would, comment on my pictures or whatever. And then she's like, oh, that looks so beautiful. I wish one day I will see it or I get to experience that. And when I was younger, I was like, hell no, like I cannot travel with my mom. Like, no. I'm like, whew, no, like to me it was like, oh no, I'm going to waste my trip. And I was very selfish. And then later on, as I mature and I have done a lot of self-work, I'm like, this is your mom and she can just go anywhere and anywhere she can just live this life, and then you're gonna regret that you didn't show her what you've been seeing and what you have been experiencing. So 2 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And now I have the resources to do it. Before, paying for a trip for 2 people is a lot. So now I do have the resources. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this something for her. 2 years ago, I took her to Mexico. That was her first trip with me, and she loved it. And just seeing her dreams coming true, that to me was it was very deep. It was very beautiful to see. Like, one of her dreams was always sing with mariachis. And I remember we were in Mexico, and then I saw these mariachis in this plaza, like this little park. And I was just like, I went to them. I was like, okay, I need you guys to come. And like, this is my mom. Like, she didn't know. I was like, this is my mom. I want you guys to sing to her and with her. And I brought them, and she was sitting down. And when she turned around, she saw all of them, and she was just like, woo. So just seeing all of that, I was like, oh my God. And she got up and she was singing, and pretty much she took the microphone from the guy, and she was just going at it. And
that's amazing.
Yes, and she danced, and she had the best time. So I was like, oh my God, that was very touchy for me. So that was beautiful. And last year, she's very Christian, like religious. And she always wanted to see where Jesus was born and all of that stuff. So she always wanted to go to Israel and Jerusalem, all of that. So last year I took her there. So we went to Israel, and we went to Jordan, and to the day, she can't stop talking about it. Like, every day she sends pictures on Instagram, on Facebook. She sends pictures in our WhatsApp group, and she cannot, like, it's something that imprinted her. And every day she's like, I still can't believe I was there. And I'm so grateful for you and God that allow us to get to that point. So that was our trip last year. And this year, I'm thinking about Switzerland. So I don't know yet, because I'm in the middle of trying to see if I need to move to Spain for a little bit. So I'm trying to figure all of that out. So yeah, traveling with friends, solo, mom, and with girlfriends too. Like, I love traveling with girlfriends. It's just more intimate. And then you get to these like romantic places and sexy hotels in Bali in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, yeah.
Oh man, don't you love that you have come to that realization about traveling with your mother? Because I think it hit me a couple years ago how I realized that I was going other places and bringing them supplies or bringing school supplies or doing what I thought was best for these people that I don't know. I've never met them. I'll never meet them again, but I'm going out of my way to try to do something helpful for them. But then you take a look at your own life and you're like, wait, but I don't do the same thing for my family. There was a switch there for me where I was like, wait, like you said, I don't want it to come the day where they're, passing, they're moving on. And I don't have the opportunity to spend with them or call them or text them or travel with them. Like, there was that moment with me as well that really just clicked. And it's like, I want to take the time to spend more time with my family. And that's a good place mentality to have, right?
Yes, 100%. But to our defense, because it's like we wish we could do that, right? All the time. But like I say, before I didn't have the resources. So for me, it's easier to pay a $50 check-in bag with things that I get donated, like clothes and toys, and take it to them, than paying for like a $2,000-3,000 trip to take somebody with me. I wish I could do, because I would take my sisters, I would take my aunt, my uncles, my cousin, I would take everybody. So it is a little bit different, but yes, definitely if you have the resources now and you can make the effort and take the time, then yes, I should be focusing more on my family instead of people that I don't know. So yes.
Well, I think you're doing it right. So I do also notice that when you travel, you're big on the outdoors, right? You will try to find something that is related to nature and being outside when you travel. So do you make it a priority to incorporate outdoor adventures into your itinerary?
Oh yeah, that's my number one. Before anything else, that's my number one. Like I just want to explore as much as I can about the country. And for me, it's more about the holes in the walls where where there is not too many tourists, when they don't charge you $300 to go in somewhere. I just like to sit down with the locals and eat food with them. And then my favorite to do to explore a country or whatever is to rent a moped. I just love it. I just love those little things.
Yes. Something about that fresh air, right? Just
And then you can
air.
stop wherever you want, and then you don't have to pay for parking. You just go wing, wing, and then you get up and leave again.
And hope it's still there when you get back.
Yeah, and then that you don't get hit by cars because like let's say in Nusa Penida, like that was like one of my favorite places to rent a moped because it's like a little island, but they don't have a street for just mopeds. So you have to share your tiny little street with cars going both ways, and then the moped is on the side. And at that time I was with an ex, and she was right behind me, right in the same same moped, and we can just feel the cars just brushing us. And I'm like, oh my God. I was driving, so I was thrilled. And then she was in the back and she was screaming then like, UMF, UMF. I'm like, we're in their country. Like, this is their space. Like, we should not be like riding in these little mopeds over here. But hey, but oh, that's like my favorite because then we can just stop anywhere and ask the locals and like, hey, if I live here, where should we go? And then they tell us. We have seen so many places that if I would have followed a book about like, I don't know, like Planet, what's it called?
Lonely Planet,
whatever, they won't tell me about these places because only the locals knew. So I love doing that. But yeah, 100% exploring the city and the country or whatever I go to, that's my number one thing.
So this is a question that I want to ask you because one, you're female, two, you travel all the time, and I'm sure you get asked this quite often. So when people say, how do you travel so much? What do you tell them?
I go like, why do you work so much? I'm like, you needed to survive, right? Well, I do too. I need to travel a lot to survive. And it's all about priorities. Like, I feel like, especially in this country, like, I feel like people complain a lot about not being able to travel and like making their dreams come true. But at the same time, they're driving a BMW and they have this house of like 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms where there's only one person living and their last phones. And I'm like, okay, so it looks like this is more important to you, which is fine. But traveling for me is number one, is the most important thing. So all the money that I make sure I balance it and I have my house, my car, whatever I need to survive. But everything else, I just put it towards travel. Like, I don't have the last phone. I don't have like an expensive car. I don't have the big house. So all the money that I earn is just put it together and just go travel. And I'm blessed that the work that I have give me the opportunity to take the time, because that's another thing, timing. Like, a lot of people just only have 2 weeks per year to be able to travel. But that's another choice that they have, because I used to work in corporate and places where they only give me 2 weeks per year to travel. And that, to me, it was incarcerating. It was just like I was in jail. I cannot just work for so many weeks and only travel for 2 and then beg you to give me these 2 weeks. And I was like, if I want for travel to be my number one, I need to change my lifestyle. So that's why I decided, and I just opened my own business. And yes, at the beginning, it was hard because I didn't have enough money to travel. But now I'm to the point where I can leave my employees behind and then I take my time to travel. So it's all about choices sometimes and priorities.
Yes, priorities. That's a good word. I love your insight on that. I think that will be helpful to some people that listen to this. And I hope as a culture, the culture of the United States, I hope that one day we can get to the point where as a whole, we can collectively think 2 weeks off a year is not healthy for us. It's not healthy for our mentality. Ooh. I mean, we have this work, and I'm all about working, and I'm all about working hard. And I know you are too. We've worked together. But at the same time, just to find that balance where you are not just taking 1 week off in the spring and 1 week off in the winter, and that's it. You know, like hopefully we can get to a point where we do take more time for ourselves, because for our mental health, I just think that's so important.
Yes, 100%, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. And another person who would have been on the same page with us is Anthony Bourdain. Ooh. And I'm going to read this quote because I'm a quote fan. I love it. I'm unapologetic about how much I love quotes. So here we go. Anthony Bourdain says, "Travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart. But that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. It leaves marks on your memory and on your consciousness, on your heart and on your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you leave something good behind." So I read that just to kind of let it sink in for a minute. And I want to ask, is there a trip that comes to your mind where you can say, yeah, that trip definitely changed me?
Ooh, there's so many, right? Like, and depends on how you see it, because as he said, it's not always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts and even breaks your heart. And I feel like in every trip that I have taken, like a little bit of all of that have happened to me. It's not always comfortable. Sometimes you just travel and then they lose your reservation and then you have to like sleep on the ground or whatever. And then there is bed bugs and then you get bit and it's like, whoo. So that is very painful and stuff. So of course that's going to change your life, because it's like, why am I doing this when I can just be at home all comfortable in my bed with my AC and with my heater and whatever? But like he said, these things change you and make you a different person and make you realize and appreciate more life and everything around it. But like, I feel like some of those, like Cuba to me was beautiful because it's such a place where there's so much poverty and, like dictatorship. So they can't really, they don't have a voice on their own, but at the same time, they're so happy and so grateful of everything and so a good positive way of seeing life. Like when I went there, I remember like I brought another suitcase full of stuff. And I remember I was in a balcony and I see these kids in the streets playing baseball with a broom and a ball that they have made with tape. And luckily I have brought a baseball bat, like a plastic baseball bat and a plastic ball and like glove. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the perfect spot right now to give this gift. So I ran downstairs and I called them, hey, come in. So I was like, look what I have. You guys want to play with this? And they're like, their eyes and their emotions and their way they were just like so grateful, and the way they see me, I was like, oh, those moments will always change my life. Like, and they even invited me to play with them. So I ended up playing with them. So those little moments are just so special to me, and definitely make a mark on who I am and who I'm trying to become and all of that. Another one was definitely Kenya. Like I say, like going to Europe, you have more accommodations and it's more comfortable. By going to Kenya, we stay in places where there's no AC and there's mosquitoes everywhere or animals. or like guys running around outside and you're like in the middle of nowhere, so you're feeling uncomfortable. And there is so many human rights taken away from them, especially in the woman. So when you go there and you see these things, it's like, whew, like I have it good, right? So you become more appreciative of what you have already. And just little things like when I went to Thailand, Thailand. I have been to Thailand 3 times, but one time we went with a group of friends, and you know Nicholas.
I love Nicholas.
So he decided to do the boxing where they have it in Koh Phi Phi. They have
the Muay Thai.
Yeah. So he was like boxing with this guy that was obviously a professional guy, and he got his butt kicked, like bruises everywhere, and I was the coach, so I was right behind him. And I wanted to laugh, but at the same time, just like I was scared for him because he was getting beat up. So every time he would come to the corner, I was like, come on, you got this. I was like, like Rocky Balboa and his coach, and like giving him water and like blowing his neck with air. And I'm like, you got this, you got this. So he goes back in there. We finish this fight, and then we start walking. And I will never forget this. So we're walking. He's almost dead. So we're trying to take care of him, trying to get back to our hotel. And then I see this guy running towards us, and he's like, I need help. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And he's like, this Thai guy is beating up this woman. And I'm like, what? So Nicholas is out of order. So I ran with this guy. So we get there, and this guy is pretty much grabbing the woman by the neck and pretty much shaking her up. And we got there, and we're like, we don't speak the language, but the eyes look, when he was looking at us, like, don't get in between this, get away. Oh my gosh, I was so scared. But at the same time, I didn't want this woman to get killed or being hurt. So I got in front of these guys. And at that moment, I don't know what happened to me, but I just got this rush and this strength. I was like, I'm going to end up fighting this guy. I don't care, but he needs to let this woman go. So I got in front of him, and I was just like talking English, and he did not say one word. He was just staring at me, and his eyes were so piercing and scary. I was like, oh shit. And then I asked the people around, like, can we call the police? And they were like, no, the police won't do anything. And I'm like, what? So to me, seeing that those domestic violence, it was so nasty, and it ripped my heart out. Because I'm like, how can we live in a society where there is police, but they can't do anything about this? It makes me so angry, and definitely like shook me up and just changed my life forever. And we kind of let him go. But when he was leaving, he started walking with a woman, still kind of grabbing her. And when they turned around to go to their apartment complex, he hit her, like elbowed her. And the guy, the British guy, and me, we just like ran after him. So we ran after him, and then we saw him going up the stairs with the woman still. We went up the stairs. It was 3 floors up, the guy and me. And when we got up there were 5 guys with machetes. And then they look at us, and they were just like, and they start following us down the stairs with machetes. I don't know what they were saying, but it looks like they were going to hurt us. So we went down all the way, and then we told our group, run, run, run. So everybody started running away, and these guys were about to hurt us. So to me, it's like, how can not only one guy, right, that was hurting this woman, but it's like a whole community that is into that, hurting people or like domestic violence. So for me, and then we tried to go to the police, and they would not listen to us. It was just like, oh yeah, that happens every day. So for me to see that, it was just very hurtful.
Oh, and what more can you do? It's not your culture. It's not your life. You don't know what she goes through every day. I mean, it breaks your heart. But in instances like that, I mean, I think you did the right thing. You did what you could. But I mean, honestly, what more can you do in that situation, right?
Yeah. And the saying, yeah, it was really bad. And the same as I was telling you, like, right, like when I try to bring stuff to little kids and old people or sick people, whatever, but like there's so much we each can do. But I feel like if we all do something about it and don't stay quiet and go and get on in front of a guy like that and just be like, hey, this is not okay. If we all do that, then we can make a difference. But a lot of people just stay quiet and they're like, no, my culture, I can't do anything about it. And they just step away. But like, I feel like, yes, you can get in trouble, you can get killed, but like, we gotta do something about it. So at least speak up, say something, do something, bring something, make somebody's life a little bit different. So it's possible.
And I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. As 5 men with machetes chasing me down the street, I don't have that story.
I haven't shown you my.
That's intense.
I haven't shown you my machete scar. My machete scar is right here.
No, you don't. Did you get?
No.
No, you are lying. Okay. I was about to say, oh my God, Dariella. Oh,
No.
That is intense. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that story with me. That had the hair on my arm standing up, and I'm incredibly glad that you're okay. So if you could give our listeners one suggestion, like on just one place, you got to pick one place. I know you've been all over, but on one place they need to see before they die. I'm going to guess it's not where you just told us about. I don't know. I don't know if you want to tell us Bangkok or not, but if you could tell them one place, what would you choose? Do you have an answer to that?
Well, I always ask myself this question because I feel like people are going to ask me this question, and it's so hard. It's so hard because it depends, like, you know, like food-wise, culture-wise, like what do you want? Like, you know, it's like, and I feel like everybody's going to give their answer to what they like personally. Like for me, I love going somewhere where it's peaceful, calm, yoga, meditation.
Ooh, let me guess. Bali.
Bali.
I had a feeling you were going to say Bali. Oh,
yes.
I love it. Yeah. So yoga, meditation, what else can you sum up when it comes to going to Bali?
Like the calmness to it. You know, Julia Roberts walked those streets on Eat, Pray, and Love. So I was trying to follow her same steps and go through everything she did. But like, to me, that place is just peace. And when I travel, you know, like I say, sometimes you're just gonna find rough stuff and it's hard. But if I can tell somebody like, hey, you gotta go see this place, it would be Bali. But again, because of what I want. Some other people is like, oh, I love wine, I want wine, and I'm not gonna send them to Bali. I'm gonna be like, go to Italy, you know, or Spain.
Right. Yeah. So that was definitely a question just based off your interest, what you like. So Bali is something you would recommend based off your interest. So tell me, where are you going next? What's your next trip plan?
I would love to go to India. I really wanted to go to India a few years ago. I was dating a girl from there. But at the moment, her dad was sick, so I couldn't go because she was taking care of her dad. But it's always a place where, I don't know, there is something about it that I want to go. But at the same time, that's a place where I want to go with a local because, you know, it's totally different, my culture, my language, everything. So I'm waiting for the right time for that. So that will be my next trip I would like to go. But the next trip I'm going to is probably going to be Spain because I need to get my passport back. And in order to get my passport back, I have to live there. So it's probably going to be Spain.
This is a superficial question, but whenever you travel in Spain, throughout Spain, do you adapt to their Like, do you say Barcelona? Like, do you change it up? How you speak Spanish?
No, but like, you know what? Like when I travel a lot, like I can be there for a week and I just pick up their accent. It's crazy. Like I just pick them really fast. When I go to Colombia, when I come back, I end up talking like them. And when I'm in Spain, or Argentina, they have this little sha. But if I live there for a few months, then yes, I'm definitely going to come back talking like them. which I like it. I think it's very sexy.
It is. It is. I love the Spanish accent. Okay, so the last thing I want to do with you is just really quickly kind of do a would you rather. And this is for you. This is just personally you, not would you rather take your mom there. This is you, your likes and interests. So I have this awesome little travel book, and it's by Kate Peterson, and my friend Dr. Triplett gave it to me. And it's more like a journal. And it just gets a conversation started on things that you like to do. So there's this one page in here and it says, which would you choose? So I'm going to ask you 7 things. Which would you choose? So you got to tell me which one you would rather do. Okay, here we go. Number 1, would you rather do a cooking class in Thailand or a pastry class in France?
Ooh, cooking class in Thailand. Without machetes.
Okay. Without machetes. Yeah, no machetes invited into that cooking class. Okay, here we go. Number 2, a ski vacation in the Alps or a beach trip to Mexico.
I hate the cold and I hate snow, but I had never been to the Alps, and skiing over there have to be out of this world. So that one.
Okay, good. Well, maybe whenever you take your mom to Switzerland, maybe you can sneak in a little day in the Alps. That would be awesome, right? Okay, number 3. Would you rather haggle at the souk in Morocco, or would you rather go shopping in Milan?
Neither one.
That's a good answer. No. Yeah, I think that would be my answer. Can I just have a price?
You can send me Milan clothes in my mail, but I'm not going to go there and shop. No.
Okay, number 4. Ooh, I think I know your answer to this one. Would you rather eat waffles in Belgium or empanadas in Spain?
Waffles in Belgium, because empanadas are not really a Spain thing. Waffles are.
Right? I was thinking they really weren't. I mean, it's more of a paella.
Paella, yeah.
Thing. Yeah, and empanadas isn't that from Venezuela?
There's empanada from all over South America. There's like Argentina empanada, Chileans empanadas, Colombia empanadas. But I had never heard of Spain empanadas. So I'm like, nope. Send me a paella, then yes, but no empanadas there.
Yeah, maybe she traveled somewhere in Spain that specialized in empanadas.
And I will let you know.
All right. All right, number 5, rafting in the Grand Canyon or cycling in Yellowstone.
Oh, rafting in the Grand Canyon.
That would be awesome, right?
Gosh. Yes. I don't know why, but like cycling to me is so tiring. And I did a little cycling in Yellowstone, but it was all flat and beautiful. But yeah, like rafting in the Grand Canyon, yes, a must.
That would be amazing. Okay, last one. A safari in Kenya or jungle trekking in the Amazon.
Ooh, jungle trekking in the Amazon. Yes, definitely.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time to talk to me about travel. This is everything to me. I loved hearing your stories. I'd never heard 95% of them, so I loved that. And so I just wanted to give you an opportunity right here. Is there anything you wanted to promote about what's going on in your life? Anybody, you selling anything, whatever you want to promote.
First of all, since we're talking about traveling, I want to promote traveling to everybody, because I feel like forget about, yes, books are important and education is important, but I think the biggest teacher that you will ever find in your life is experiences through traveling, like seeing these cultures and enjoying this food and trying all of that all these beautiful countries have to offer us. I feel like that's the biggest teacher that we could ever experience. So first of all, promoting traveling. Get out there, stop making excuses. You can do it. Save up money, make it a priority, and it will happen. Something, yes, I am a lesbian, so I do throw this event once a month. It's called Second Friday Alana, and It happens every second Friday of each month. And you can follow us on Instagram on Second Friday ATL. And everybody's welcome. It's a queer event where all kind of people are welcome. So we'd love to see everybody over there. It's fun. We have DJs, music, we dance, and it's a very safe environment for people to come and enjoy themselves and be themselves.
Oh, I love this. This was awesome. So yes, anybody interested in Second Friday ATL, check out Dariella's Instagram. And I hope to see you soon. I'm so glad you're doing great in life. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Darla. This was fun.
Okay, good. Yay. All right, love. I will talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is prohibited on the entire aircraft, including the lavatories. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the lavatory smoke detectors is prohibited by law. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight attendants.